Hello guys, good afternoon. This is your homeboy Anthony or Ike. So today we are going to see the film Aki and Paw Paw Reloaded. Now this is a film that came out in I think 2003 or 2002 thereabout, and 19 years after, the Network Studios are doing a remake of that film, and I just can't wait to see how interesting what exactly they do with the film. So guys, let's go see this film. So guys, yes,
It's called a tailor shop. It's got complicated fight sequences. There's gadgetry and humour and action man.
My eyes have seen.
My eyes have seen.
My ears have heard.
My ears have heard.
What my lips may not speak.
What my lips may not speak.
hello guys, this is your homeboy Ike, and welcome back to Nolly Review with Ike, where I review some or most of your favorite Nollywood films. Well, I'll be reviewing the film Aki and Paw Paw Reloaded, but before I do that, please if this is your first time of coming to my channel or watching my video, please subscribe, leave a comment or share. It does a lot for me. Well, let's get straight to the film. So welcome back guys. The truth is, when I first thought of the film, or when I heard that the film Aki and Paw Paw would be remade, or I was skeptical. I didn't know what to expect, because this is like 19 years after. What would they do? What would they do to make this film as interesting or as funny as it was then? A big shout out to Play Networks, because they did amazing work in this film. The truth is, starting the film, it felt surreal. I felt a certain way. I didn't know what to expect, though the truth is, I asked a friend that's seen the film what she thought about the film, and it wasn't as good as I thought, but I needed to see for myself to know if really they did well. So the truth is, I wrote a few points down that I feel we should really talk about. So the film opens up where Aki and Paw Paw are seen in a shrine-ish stuff. You know, the bid, they want to make money and all that, and then I've forgotten his name. I think it's Hank or so. I know the character of the Babalawo. I didn't understand why this is like a Nigerian film and all, but then his accent was still infringing. Okay, let me even cut the long story short. Imagine a Babalawo speaking Fone. That's my opinion though, but that's how I felt. But I don't want to be the one who says this is what is wrong with this film, but because I truly did enjoy the film, even though it was not as funny as I thought it would be. But then I feel like the storyline was one I could relate to, especially the case where they got defrauded. You know, all this thing where you are, make I even stop speaking English, where you there for road, and then this guy comes to meet you and say, I'm from so and so country, we need to do this, or I brought products that we need to sell, and then I carry you to a certain place. I felt that because I could relate to that. I think sometime in my 100 level or so, or 200 level, I found out my exams, I had exams that day, and I was on my way to school, and then this guy meets me and says, please, he needs help, direction to this place, now how can he get there, that he has products that he needs to sell. And I don't know, I got carried away totally, yeah? And then I followed this guy, I paid the guy's transport. So I don't know if you're familiar with Tungamaje. I think Tungamaje is along Zuba Expressway, Zuba Guablada. I followed this guy to Tungamaje, yeah? And I paid his transport, and the guy brought me into this house where I saw these guys turn this paper into, at the time, 1,000 naira, and I was like, whoa, like it was epic. The truth is that I've heard stories, but I didn't know how true they were until I felt that. But something in me didn't want didn't want to go on with it. So at that point, I felt like what I did there with the story, it felt relatable to me, because I think a lot of people go through that same stuff, and it's just so amazing to see how they portrayed it in the film. Now, I think one of my favorite characters is the character of Panchak. I think played by Uzi or so, I've forgotten his name. But then he's this guy who is a brand influencer, and then he's doing well, but then he doesn't treat his staff well and all that stuff. And I don't know, I cannot relate to that too. I've not blow, you get. But then I felt like he played his character well, and that's one thing with characterization. If you're acting and it feels to me like you are acting, or it feels to the audience like you are acting, then you don't sell the story well. For me, I feel like he did well in selling that character. Now, the other thing, so I watched the film with my friend James. Shout out to James, he's behind the camera though. And we're talking about the character of Mama Nkiru. Now, Mama Nkiru was, or she is, the owner of the bar where Aki and Paw Paw worked. Now, I felt like, to an extent, to build tension, to build more, what's it called now? Tension. They would have staged more scenes there, because it felt like I didn't get that vibe of, you know, when like normal beer parlor now, how the owner decrease. Like I didn't feel as much of that vibe from her. Though there are pocket scenes where it happened, but I didn't feel it as much. And also, what I also like how the story portrayed, especially where after they found their fame, Aki and Paw Paw found their fame, they fought. Now, what that does to me is to show the humanity of their characters, yeah. Because now, if there was no friction, there was no tension between them, they didn't fight, and now it felt like the normal stuff. Everything would just go as plain as it is. But then, the fight they had led to a lot of things in the story, which was very, very, very interesting to see, and I really, really, really love this. It builds their character, and that's one thing with characterization and how it really affects a lot of things in a story. Now, there was also this part where after their quarrel, I felt like, you know, where you feel like this is the typical Nollywood film. This is where they'll resolve this thing and everyone will move on. But then it didn't happen, because there was this scene where Aki was seated in this uncompleted buildings-ish place, and then Paw Paw walks up to him, and then they have this heart-to-heart talk as brothers, and then one would think maybe this is where they'll resolve everything and everything will go back to normal, but then it didn't happen. Now, this is to people who think that this film is like the normal, typical Nollywood films. Truth is, to an extent, you might predict this is what will happen. But then, there's something I learned from Dan Brown, a writer. He said, you might know how the film or how the book or the story ends, but then what makes the difference is the process or the journey to getting there. So even if we might know that, of course, the big bad will go down, the boss will be defeated, it is how this journey play out for me, and that is what is most interesting to watch. Yeah, also, and now I think this is like the final points that I would sell or talk about is Samantha. If you don't know who, okay, of course, I don't know if you've seen the film, but Samantha is like their brand manager. And so next thing, what I felt like they didn't do justice to her downfall. Should I call it so? Because there were kind of, you know, there are levels to this big bad thing. So Panchak was like a big bad to an extent, and then Samantha was like I'll call her a personal big bad, because she was cheating Aki and Paw Paw, like she was cheating these guys. For example, a brand pays them 5 million, for example, she gives them 1.5 and takes the remaining. Like, I don't know, it felt like I should kill her, like, I don't know. So that's how it felt to me, and at the ending, after all said and done, the only thing Paw Paw said was like, Samantha, we know you are cheating, we're going to see in court. Like, I don't know, it didn't feel like that was like, I know, of course, she cannot die. This is like a comedy film. But then something else should have happened to her. I don't know, that should feel justified. Thank you so much for watching my video. I want to say a big shout out to Play Network Studios for doing this. It's very, very, very important that what they are doing with remaking our classic films, and it's so much interesting to see. So I am currently in City Plaza, where I just finished watching the film in Genesis Cinemas, and I had to find this space to shoot. I want to say big shout out to Nomi Smoothie for giving us this space. So thank you so much, ma'am. So please, if you stay to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. You can click on the link below to subscribe, comment, and please share this video. Thank you so much. See you next time. Peace.